All right, good afternoon and welcome to European Higher Education Fair Indonesia 2023. My name is Puji and I'm going to be your moderator for today. For this session at Auditorium 1, we are going to talk about study in top Nordic universities with speakers from Aarhus University and University of Southern Denmark in Denmark, Chalmers University of Technology, and KTH Royal Institute of Technology in Sweden. Thank you everyone for being here with us.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time to share with us today about how is it going to be for Indonesian students when they want to study in top Nordic universities in Denmark and Sweden. So first thing first, I would like to invite our speakers to introduce themselves and their institution, starting from Aarhus University and then Chalmers University of Technology, followed by KTH and SDU.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us today. It's wonderful to be here online before we all travel. I think at least I will be in Indonesia next week, and I'm looking very much forward to meet you all in Surabaya, Jakarta, and Bandung. So I'm representing Aarhus University. Aarhus University is a Danish university located in the second largest city in Denmark. Aarhus is a well-known student city, at least here in Denmark, and it's just been voted for the third time in a row the best student city in Denmark. So I think a lot of our international and Danish students really enjoy studying in Aarhus. Aarhus University is also a comprehensive university with 5 faculties. So we do cover a lot of different study programs, especially on master's level. So we have more than 50 study programs on master's level. So whatever you are looking for, it might be there. Aarhus University also have the Danish State Scholarship that we are also focusing right now on Indonesia as one of the destinations where we would love to attract more students. And at the moment, we are also at the LPDP list. So for those of you considering the LPDP scholarships, that could also be available for students going to Aarhus. I think at least for IT and engineering, Aarhus is also a well-known destination. We have an IT city where our study programs are located, where we work very closely with companies, and researchers are also working closely with companies. So a lot of opportunity right now, especially within IT and engineering, to get a job and actually stay and continue to stay in Denmark after you graduate. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Sarah. And next from Chalmers University.
Okay, thank you. Hi, I'm Titis. I'm gonna be representing Chalmers University of Technology today. And I'm actually an alumni from Chalmers University of Technology, and I come from Indonesia, so I can speak a little bit of English and also Bahasa to help you with your questions today during the online fair and also during the physical fair that I will meet you guys in Jakarta and Surabaya and Bandung as well. So Chalmers University of Technology is located in Gothenburg in Sweden, and Gothenburg is the second largest city in Sweden. It's maybe similar to Surabaya, I would say, because it's a port city. It's a second largest city too. And Chalmers University of Technology itself, we are focused on engineering programs, entrepreneurship, as well as architecture and planning. So if you're looking for a program within this area, we might have one for you. So looking forward to talk to you today, and I will be happy to help you with your questions. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Matitis. And next from KTH.
Hello, everyone. My name is Margareta, and I work at KTH Royal Institute of Technology. We are located in Stockholm, Sweden, and like Chalmers, we are an engineering and science university. We are currently ranked highest ranked university in Sweden. We are quite a small university, only 13,000 students, but we have a wide range of different programs. So we can offer 63 master's programs within engineering, computer science, architecture, and biotechnology, for example. We have a very vibrant student body, and we are located in the central parts of Stockholm. As you can see on my picture, that's the Stockholm city in the background. We also have a few other campuses that students might be located to. We have worked quite a long time with Indonesia, and we have quite a large number of Indonesian students coming to KTH every year. And many of them get the LPDP scholarship, for example. So I will also travel to Indonesia like Titis and Sarah. So I hope to see you live in the different fair cities next week and the week after that. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Cannot wait to have you next week. All right, next we have, last but not least, SDU, University of Southern Denmark.
Yes, hi. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for letting us participate as well. My name is Sine, and I'm an international officer at the Faculty of Engineering. Just like Aarhus University, we are a comprehensive university, so we do have study programs in all different kinds of areas. But I am representing the Faculty of Engineering, where we do have a lot of English taught programs. And special for our university is that we have a few different locations. And for our campus that is behind me at the waterfront as well, we do not have a maximum capacity for international students. So at the moment, we have everything on this campus taught in English, both bachelor's and master's, and we have approximately 85% international students from all over the world, also Indonesia. Plus, something that's quite nice as well is that we do have a first job guarantee here. We, of course, also are located in other places. Odense is our main campus, and that is the third largest city of Denmark, kind of also known as like the fairy tale city, because that's where the author Hans Christian Andersen is from, and we do have a lot of international students there as well. And of course, I'm also coming to at least Jakarta, so I'm also going to hopefully see a lot of you there.
All right, thank you very much, ladies, for being here, and I cannot wait to hear more from you about how the experience to study in Denmark and Sweden would be like. So before we begin, I'd like to invite the audience to ask your questions on the YouTube chat box, and we will answer them during the Q&A session. So to start the talk show, I'd like to ask this to all speakers. Would you be able to highlight a unique and standout program or research initiative at your university that sets you apart from other Nordic institutions? Maybe we can start with SDU, and then we go to KTH and Aarhus.
Well, a specific program, I know that we're the only university in Denmark that offers mechatronics, which is the mix of mechanical engineering and electronics, and we do quite well in that area. We also have a very, very unique and strong robotics program that is working very closely together with the companies. All of our programs are, but especially robotics is quite strong. They've also participated in the unofficial international championship, and I think it was back in 2018 or 19. They did win the international or the unofficial international competition or world championship in robotics. So that is very, very interesting. And of course, also our first job guarantee is because we have a very strong collaboration with the companies in the area.
All right, awesome. Next, I'd like to hear from KTH.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that we have like any specific like standout programs, but I would like to highlight that many of our programs work closely with the society and the areas around Stockholm. So all our programs are like it's very good for the students to get the insight of the real world problems while they're studying at KTH. And of course, we are highly ranked in a few subjects. For example, in electrical engineering, we are top 20 in the world. So I would say, yeah, we have a lot of different like highly ranked programs, but I couldn't really pick one of them.
I think that goes to show that you have so much to offer.
Yeah.
All right, next from Aarhus.
Thank you. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, perfectly.
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
just switched my microphone. I think it's difficult to pick a program, but if I have to pick something, I think the area of IT, both specifically to the city of Aarhus, where there's an IT part of the city where we have Google, Uber, big companies working within IT and really looking to get a lot of graduates out of Aarhus University. So there's a lot of good career opportunities, I think, within this area. And so computer science, computer engineering, data science, IT and product development, a lot of different IT, electrical engineering as well. So a lot of study programs within this area and a lot of opportunity also to work closely with companies during your studies, get a relevant student job. And specifically, I think another thing I would like to mention is actually our career service program, cross university, cross all 5 faculties, where we work from day one, from first semester onwards, on preparing international students for their career in Denmark. So getting a network, getting to know the company culture, perhaps learn a little Danish, all these different things that can change and will matter when you graduate and if you chose to stay or choose to get another job in another country. So I think really our career service program that we've been having a lot of energy and resources is put into this currently when we work with a lot of companies. I think that's interesting, especially for our international students.
All right, thank you very much. Last but not least, Mbak Titis.
Thank you. Yeah, I think my answer will be very similar to Margareta and Sarah as well. It's very difficult to choose one program because every year we have like standout programs that standing out different ways. But I would like to highlight that every program at Chalmers is facilitated with both physical facilities as well as career supports that are very high in quality. And I believe that there are not so many universities in the world that can say that they have their own space observatory, for example, for their astrophysics program. And we do also have like the clean room for nanotechnology students, as well as Chalmers Formula for the mobility engineering students, where students can build their own race car and also build their own boats, for example. So that's standing out actually from Chalmers. I would like to also highlight that Chalmers is very leading in the world of sustainability. I think maybe every university in Sweden and also Denmark also focusing on sustainability right now, but Chalmers is also one of them. And we focus not only with environmental sustainability, but also economy and social. So even though we are focusing on engineering and architecture and planning, but we talk about like societal challenges every time, as well as the world economy and world politics and things like that when we make our learnings more meaningful as well as more impactful to the community. For example, in architecture program, we don't only focus on the design and the technical aspect of the studies, but also students will meet real clients and talk about social inclusion, talk about economic challenges, and test ideas with the locals and other programs as well. Like we collaborate between fields too, like architecture and civil engineering, sound and vibration, and so on. So I think that's how Chalmers will stand out, to answer your question. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. It's been very detailed answers from everyone. And it's also interesting on how when you talk about the things that you would like to highlight from your university that you offer, you also mentioned, everyone here mentioned about support services and how important it is to be there for the incoming international students to make them feel at home, because that's a lot of new things that they are going to experience. So in that note, what specific support services do your universities offer to help international students integrate into the local culture and academic environment? I would like to hear from Denmark first, and then Sweden. We can start with Sarah.
Even if I think actually SDU is also located in Denmark, but I would love to go first. I always love that. I think there's so many things going on. Aarhus University is quite a big university. So we do have a student ambassador program for all our international students that will join. We have our career services that help focusing also on international students. We have a really great student house where a lot of different things are going on for international students. And I think just overall, I think the study programs, so even for Danish students or international students, there's a lot of focus on the students and how they can prepare their studies, how they can move along with the dreams and the goals they have. So when you study, for instance, engineering or IT at Aarhus or any other study program, it's quite flexible. So you have to manage your schedule, and you have an academic advisor. We have student counselors. We have student counselors focusing on the mental health. So a lot of different support systems and endeavors to support the student wherever they are in their journey, academically or socially, because we also know if you are having a nice stay and you have a social, you have friends, and it will also be easier to learn and to do well academically.
All right, thank you very much. I'd like to hear more from SDU as well.
Yes, of course. Just before I start talking about SDU, I actually studied my bachelor at Aarhus University, and I can say that already back then they had an amazing program, both for national and international students. For our sake, or speaking of SDU, we do have a lot of activities as well. We have support for the students when they arrive to Denmark with housing at our main campus in Odense. We have a housing guarantee for the students so that they don't have to worry about coming to Denmark and not having a place to live. We're working on also having it at our other campuses, very close at the faculty or the campus in Sønderborg as well. And then, of course, we also have a lot of social activities in the beginning, both where they get to meet the different sports clubs, international, political, both clubs and other initiatives, women in STEM organizations, and a lot of things around the city, but of course also help with how to open a bank account, a lot of the basic stuff that you need to know when you move to a new country that you don't necessarily know when you sit and investigate from home. So yeah, there's a lot of activities going on. We also have our intro team that is not just showing the students around the city, but also planning a lot of activities with them. They've turned the entire university into one large escape room. They've done a lot of different things, and the students can always come and ask. They also, because we are a somewhat smaller university, we have in general in Scandinavia, a very flat hierarchy. So if the students have any questions, they can always come to the professors, come talk to me, come talk to the guidance counselors if they have any questions. Also, if they are having issues with housing or their landlord or the bank or anything that they might have questions about.
All right, thank you very much. Now I would like to hear what's similar and what's different in Sweden. Margareta, you would like to start?
Yeah, I think both Denmark and Sweden are very good at taking care of their international students and have extensive programs for international students. At KTH, we organize the arrival days for all international students. So it's 2 times during August. Students can come on the special day, and we have student ambassadors that meet them at the airport when they arrive. And we have chartered buses that goes directly into KTH campus. so they can get help with storing their luggage, to pick up their room keys, to get their student account for the internet, and yeah, we answer any questions they might have. And then during the first weeks, we also offer like an introductory English course. So students will get to practice their English and also get to know more about what it is expected from them regarding their studies, because in Sweden we work a bit differently with the academic studies than in many Asian countries. So they get the hang of how it works with the how to study and so on. And then during the studies, there are a lot of activities going on for all students. And it's not only for international students, it's also like mixed international and national students. They can also get support, like health support, career support, and also we have a very active innovation house that can help students if they are interested in starting up a company, for example. And all students are welcome regardless of nationality. So we have a lot of international students participating in those activities. But I think it's mostly similar with other universities in Scandinavia.
All right, thank you very much. That's very thorough. I'd like to hear how's the experience like in Chalmers University, Matitis?
Yes, of course. It's actually very similar to all of the stories from Margareta and Sine and also Sarah. But I think I would like to add as well that the orientation day at Chalmers can be extended to orientation month sometimes, because there are so many activities going on. So students would come and, of course, be greeted at the airport or on campus, and they will get a lot of information about like getting used to the weather, getting used to the city and such. And of course, there are also communities on campus and also around Gothenburg that would allow international students to be a part of. There are many social groups events, like, for example, visiting the archipelago together, because Gothenburg is located in the west coast of Sweden, where students can come and have picnics together, so they can have like new friends during their first month of their studies. But I would like to also add that the Chalmers students will get the free Swedish language course for 6 months, which can be extended to 2 years, because it's also provided free by the municipality of Gothenburg. So that's also a benefit if you would like to stay in Sweden after your graduation. At Chalmers, I think it's similar to other universities as well. We take care of students when they would like to find a place to stay. So there's a guaranteed student housing for fee-paying students. So Indonesian students are also included in this guaranteed student housing. And in terms of academics, at the beginning of each course, there are usually lots of more relaxed way of studying. So professors are very casual, and we call them like by their first name, and international students would take time to get used to that, because we're not used to that in Asia, right? We call them like by Mr. or Mrs. and professor and things like that, but we call them with their first name. But in addition to that, there are lots of relaxed way of learning, like reading and watching movies and getting inspired by visiting sites in Gothenburg to get to know Sweden a little bit better. I would like to also add that in Sweden in general, we have PPI Swedia, the Indonesian Student Association, where they also help each other to for students to get used to living in Sweden. And at Chalmers, we also have the Chalmers Islamic community too, for Muslim students as well. So yeah, those are just the examples.
All right, thank you very much. Now, before we go to the Q&A session from the audience, let's get one of the most frequently asked questions out of the way, which is about the scholarships. Everyone's asking about the scholarships. So I'd like to hear about how does it look like in both Sweden and Denmark when it comes to scholarship options available in your respective universities and countries, and if there's any tips for students on how to increase their chances of securing one. We can probably start with Sweden this time. How is it like in KTH?
Yeah, we have 3 different types of scholarships for Indonesian students. So the first one is our own scholarship, that is the KTH scholarship, which covers the tuition fee, but you have to have your living costs by yourself. And to get this scholarship, you have to have really good GPA. Also, you have to have other like high ranking of the other selection areas we have for our programs, like, for example, good English knowledge, that you come from a highly ranked university, and also if you have work experience, that's also helps you with securing the scholarship. The other option that also counts for Chalmers is the Swedish Institute scholarship. It's called the Swedish Institute for Global Professionals, and it's for students from a number of countries, where Indonesia is one of them. You have to have about 2 years of work experience to apply for this scholarship, and it's a full scholarship that covers both living costs and tuition fee. And the third option for students coming to KTH is to get the LPDP scholarship. So at the moment, about half of those that were started at KTH this year had a LPDP scholarship. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Mbak Titis, would you like to add?
Yeah, so for Chalmers, we have 4 types of scholarships for Indonesian students. The first one is similar to what Margareta already mentioned, which is the SISGP scholarship. It's from the Swedish Institute. So I think I'm just going to add like the other 3 that are administrated by Chalmers, which are Adlerbert Scholarship, Avancé Scholarship, and iPoet scholarships. But all of the 3 scholarships, those are the scholarships that only cover like 75% to 100% of the tuition fee, so without the living cost. I think because you asked a little bit also about what's the tips to get admitted and also like get the scholarship. I think one of the most important things is, of course, making your application on time and also as completed as possible regarding to the general entry requirement as well as the specific entry requirements. And of course, if you're applying for scholarship, they will ask for a motivation letter and also CV. So make sure that the documents are relevant to your studies and also your plan to study at Chalmers and how Chalmers can help you to pursue your goals and your career and also your academic achievement that you would like to have. So I think that's, yeah, that's my answer.
All right, thank you very much. Now let's hear it from our representative from Denmark University, starting with SDU.
So yes, LPDP is also an option for SDU. Other than that, we have our government-given scholarships that Aarhus University also have. We've chosen to divide them in 2 different kinds. One is a 50% tuition fee waiver, and the other one is a 100% tuition fee waiver. We don't have a lot of scholarships, unfortunately, but we have for 3 different programs: the Masters in Mechatronics, Electronics, and Mechanical Engineering. And when applying for the scholarships or when applying for the study program, you automatically apply for the scholarships as well. So there's no additional application needed. The way that we look at who gets the scholarship is, of course, how well the bachelor matches the master, the curriculum, the motivation as well a bit, but that is done not by a motivational letter, but by an interview. So everyone who is a non-EU citizen will be invited for an interview where they will talk to the faculty. They'll hear a bit about the program, figure out if this is actually the program that they are applying to, if they have the right requirements, and if they have the right, what do you call it, ideas about the program, so that the student can also figure out if this is actually what they're expecting. And then, of course, we're also looking at the language requirements and the GPA. So, of course, IELTS, TOEFL, or Cambridge. We are going to test the language certificates or test the language levels in the interview as well. And then, of course, also look at the GPA. And the higher GPA, the better the chances are of getting 100% scholarship.
All right, thank you very much. Now let's hear it from Aarhus University.
Thank you. Yeah, so Aarhus University, we also have LPDP students here at Aarhus University, so that's definitely a possibility. And as the University of Southern Denmark, we also have the Danish State Scholarship. Same procedure, you automatically apply when you apply to Aarhus University. And then it's actually the 5 different faculties that decides how much the scholarship will be. So for our Faculty of Business and Arts, it's actually a full scholarship that covers tuition fee and living costs. But it is very competitive. There's a few scholarships, and it is an academic assessment of the student. How well do they fit with the study program, and how well have you done? How's your GPA from your bachelor's? For natural and technical sciences, it's a tuition fee waiver. That also means we actually have more scholarships for the natural and technical sciences, but living cost is not covered. But same procedure, you automatically apply when you apply for the study program. So make sure to upload all the required documentation and everything that we need to assess, because the departments will assess the application and at the same time add you for the scholarship list if you're one of the few students with excellent academic background. So those will be the 2 different options. And then I would like to mention that if you're an international student, I think the same probably goes for Sweden, but in Denmark at least, you have the right to work. And I think salaries and student jobs in Denmark is very, you usually have a student job. The Danish students also work. And I think getting a relevant student job probably will give you a nice salary. So it might not cover all your costs, but I think it is a good addition to what you're able to bring from home to actually get a student job while you study.
I see. Yeah, I think that's a very encouraging part as well, because sometimes for students on scholarship, maybe they're worried that they will not be allowed to also work part-time, or they don't have the permission to work part-time. So I think this is a very interesting and encouraging information. Does anyone want to add anything else before we proceed to the questions from the audience? Okay, so now it's time for the questions from YouTube. We have quite a few of them already, so I'm just going to combine them because some of them actually ask pretty similar questions. So first is about language proficiency, because especially for Indonesian students who are non-native English speakers, it can be a barrier or concern for them when they study abroad. How do your universities assist these non-native English speakers in terms of language preparation and integration into Danish and Swedish societies, respectively? We can probably start with Sarah while you're on the spotlight.
Thank you. So I think I want to add 2 things. When you apply to Aarhus University, you need to also submit your English language requirements, the documents that we ask for. So that would be an IELTS 6.5 or TOEFL 83, or it could also be the Cambridge test. But have a look That is to ensure that you have the right level of English and you will be able to follow classes and work here as well. I think in Denmark, it's one of the best non-native speaking countries in the world when it comes to English as a second language. So I think if you know English and you completed your English test, I think you'll be fine. And then in terms of Danish, we do have a lot of different programs that could help you learn some Danish. And I think it's a good idea to learn some Danish, both to integrate better with society, perhaps get some Danish friends. And if you even wish to stay after graduation, it can be a really good help to learn what I call also lunch Danish, because I think in most companies, you will be able to use English as your working language, and then Danish would more be the social language. So we have Kickstart Your Stay. When you start, you can learn some Danish and get some new friends. You can get a language buddy, where you learn some Danish together with a Danish student and go and visit companies and have lunch Danish out there at the companies. And we also have free Danish classes in Denmark. So if you're a university student, you can actually find classes and start at module 1 and start to learn Danish as soon as you're a student here in Denmark.
All right, thank you very much. Now, shall I hear more from SDU?
Yes, so we also accept IELTS and TOEFL. IELTS minimum average score of 6.5. Best if there's no band lower than 5.5. We need a bit of a higher score in TOEFL. That'd be minimum score of 88. And then, of course, Cambridge C1 or C2 proficiency. And just as Sarah also said, we do have free Danish classes for all students in Denmark. They are typically on campus, so the students don't have to worry about running around the city, not being able to find the right place. And of course, they're also in the afternoon, so they don't clash with the scheduled hours. Typically, the language courses or classes, they show up in the introduction days, so the students get to meet them, talk to which school they prefer, and figure out which ones also matches their programs the best. And of course, it's always good to practice a bit of Danish when they talk to Danish students or with professors. As Sarah says, the lunch Danish is quite nice to be able to practice, and just try to say a few phrases when you're out and about, when you're doing grocery shopping or something like that. That definitely helps a lot. But Danish is not a requirement to start a study program.
I see. All right. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to hear more on how it's like in Sweden, especially in Chalmers and KTH.
Yeah, I can start a little bit. So we have 38 master's program at Chalmers that is all in English. And the requirement for English proficiency is IELTS 6.5 or TOEFL 90. So an applicant needs to have that already before making an application to Chalmers to make sure that they can follow all the education during the 2 years of master's program. But I would like to mention, because I am also an alumni, I would like to say that 50% of the class is also international students who are actually like having English as their second language. So we are studying together. We are still improving our English day by day. And from day one, we always try to understand each other if we have some difficulties, and we help each other a lot. And all the professors, all the staff members at Chalmers also speak English very well. So in principle, you can study at Chalmers and live in Gothenburg with English, because everyone speaks the language. From school to cafe to supermarkets, everyone can speak English quite well. But of course, if you're planning to look for a job in Sweden, it's easier if you know the Swedish language, especially if you would like to stay after graduation and work in your field of expertise. So for example, during a job interview, it's better if you have like a little bit of a Swedish language proficiency, especially when you talk about your field. But during your studies, there are also language supports. For example, we have like English writing support as well in the Chalmers library. And for the Swedish course, I think I already mentioned before, it's there are free Swedish course available for all Chalmers students.
All right, thank you very much. How's it like in KTH, Margareta?
I would say it's similar to all the other three universities. We have around 100 nationalities at KTH, both full-time master students and also a lot of exchange students. So many of the students, international students, don't have English as their first language, which means that everyone, like Titi said, it's everyone is helping each other to understand each other. And we have similar as Chalmers with the English requirements. It's 6.5 for IELTS and 90 for TOEFL. As I mentioned also before, we have introduction weeks, 3 weeks in the beginning, where the international students can take English course to refresh their skills. And also similar to Chalmers, we offer a Swedish course for free during the semester, even if you don't have to learn Swedish. And they can also continue learning Swedish at the Stockholm municipality after the free language course at KTH. But of course, if you want to stay in Sweden and work, we encourage you to learn Swedish. But otherwise, it's kind of difficult to speak Swedish with Swedish people, because if they hear you don't speak proper Swedish, they will help you and speak English to you. And most Swedish people also like to speak English, so they take the opportunity to speak English with you if you're not fluent in Swedish.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for being here and sharing with us how's it like to study in top Nordic universities in Sweden and Denmark, and for everyone joining on YouTube for your time and questions. Unfortunately, we have very limited time to address all your questions, but don't worry, they're not going to be left unanswered. So before we conclude the session, I would like to invite our speakers to share about your institution and how we can get more information. We can start with KTH, followed by Chalmers, SDU, and Aarhus University.
Yeah, I would say just go to our website. As you can see here on the screen, we have a lot of different channels where you can ask questions. We have, for each of our 63 programs, we have an international student ambassador. So if you are curious about one specific program, you can address that student ambassador, and they will answer you within 24 hours, I think it is. Also, we have one Indonesian student ambassador this year. So if you're interested in knowing more what it's like to be Indonesian at KTH, you can address that student. You can also go in and watch. We have several films, like we have a virtual campus tour that is very popular. So you can go in and see the different themes, like about the accommodation, about the different schools. Get like a campus tour around the main campus and also one of our other campuses. So you will find quite a lot of information on our website. And if you have program-specific questions, you can also get in touch with our program coordinators or the program directors directly through their email.
All right, thank you very much. Next from Chalmers University.
Yes, so absolutely, you can find all of our information at chalmers.se/en for the English page. All of our master's program information are there, and you can also find like student contacts too. If you look for Chalmers Unibuddy, or I could give you a shorter tip. If you Google Chalmers chat with us or chat with students, you will go straight directly to the Chalmers chatting website. So you can find like our student ambassadors to help you with your questions. We also have an international student ambassador from Indonesia, same as Margareta at Chalmers. So you can also talk to her. And of course, there are also student ambassadors in each program too. So if you have specific questions about each program, that's also useful to go to our website. There's also information about the scholarship that I have mentioned before. It's chalmers.se/scholarships. So you can find all the requirements and also all the complete information there. As well as our social media channels. So we have on Instagram, we have we.r.chalmers, and also we have a YouTube channel as well. So on our YouTube, you can see, for example, the reviews of student housings. You can see also tips to get around Gothenburg and also get used to the student life and so on. So I would really recommend you to visit our channels. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Now from SDU.
Yes, of course, our website's of course available for everyone. We also do have something that we call Student for a Day. We both have it online and physical, of course. It's not a specific day, it can be whenever it suits you. And then we will match you with a student from either Indonesia, if you can find one. We do have students from Indonesia, of course. Or a student from the specific study program that you're interested in. And then we will make sure that you hear everything about the study program and you can get out all your answers, all the answers that you're looking for. We also do have an open house online 3 times a year where we talk about mainly the master programs, but there will also be the possibility to talk to our admissions office, both about the masters, but also the bachelors. Then furthermore, we have, of course, YouTube, we have YouTube Shorts, we have Instagram and Facebook, where you could also follow a lot of our information, find a lot of the information that you're looking for. And of course, just like KTH, you can also contact the faculty directly, either the university or the study program coordinator or directors as well, via email. And of course, you can always contact me, of course, as well.
All right, thank you very much. Now let's last but not least from Aarhus University.
Thank you so much. I think go to the website. As the other universities, we have a lot of similar. We have all the different channels, Instagram, where we have takeovers from our student ambassadors every week. We have quite a few student ambassadors from Indonesia. So if you wish to speak to someone from the program or from Indonesia, I think there's plenty of opportunity if you go to our website. Today, as we are doing this live right now, we're actually hosting our virtual open day at Aarhus University, where we have sessions with our admissions office and sessions with different study programs where you can learn more. And for those of you watching later on, we are recording all these sessions. So we have all the webinars on demand, so to speak. So you can actually always have a look and watch a video with a webinar about that specific study program. I think if you really want to dive deep into specific questions about a certain study program, you can actually book a meeting with the student counselors from that study program and have a chat with them. But a lot of information and possibilities to attend webinars, chat with other students. And then I think if you're watching this and you are planning on going to EHEF physically, I think that's a nice idea as well. I think we will all be there. And I also invited some of our alumni. So graduates that are back in Indonesia now working. So if you want to get their perspective on how it was like to study in Denmark, that's also a chance to do that.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much. So I hope that helps everyone in the audience in explaining more about how it's going to be like when you're studying in top Nordic universities. And I also would like to remind the audience that you have until the end of the virtual event at 6 p.m. to visit more than 80 booths joining EHEF 2023, including the representatives from the universities joining this session. You can chat with them directly, and you could also ask your questions directly with other representatives from universities and country embassies alike. You can also meet them in person in Surabaya on November 8th, Jakarta on November 11 to 12, and Bandung on November 14. Thank you everyone for coming, and I'll see you at the next session. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.